Hi, everybody. Let's go ahead. Let's try and get this going live on Facebook. Thank you. Hello, Autumn. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Are you guys, I know you and Josh got the invitation last night. You excited?
I'm so flippin' excited. I told my husband, and he's just like, you're taking on more stuff. I'm like, you don't understand. This is exciting.
Yeah, well, tell him it's not taking on more stuff. It's actually enacting what you've already started.
Exactly.
He can sit there and wait around all he wants and try to figure it out, but we can actually get you moving.
Come on now.
Let's see. I cannot spell.
Yo, me either.
Right? Let's see, Joy. Joy joins the party. There we go. We'll make that work. Okay. Let's see where we are. It's been crazy. I'm trying to pack and do everything at the same time. So I think this is working. I think.
Oh, yeah, because you guys are headed out soon, right?
What was that?
You're leaving soon, right?
I'm leaving right after this call. Like, I've got to leave at 4 because I'm catching the 4:30 train. I got to get to the train. At the same time, my washer and dryer have broken, so that's been fun to handle. So I'm like, nah, everything else can just burn to the ground today. Don't care. Ready to go. Just burn it. Burn it all.
At least you look amazing doing it.
Thank you. I do try. You know the best part? This actually.
Yes. It so works.
I know, right? It does. And then when I don't want it, I just like, and if I tuck it under and I do a quick little tag, boom, we have myself a little clip.
Boom.
That's right. It's all about the versatility. I can turn a tablecloth into an evening gown in 15 seconds, provided it's at least 6 foot long and made out of sequins. So we all have our talents. So let's go with that, sure. Okay, so we are going to, thank you, Carlos. I like to travel and stuff. What you don't see, this is actually just a t-shirt. So you just dress it up, and I'm not wearing pants yet. So I don't want to until I absolutely have to. Yeah, works out. What's this doing? Close. You know that. All right. So James, welcome. James also got the invitation. There are a couple of people I might be inviting, but so season 2, Real Estate Survivor, we are going to be hand selecting and inviting because it's been such a crazy, awesome experience for all of us. We're recapping season 1 right now and all the things that we have done over the past 3 months. And it has been incredible. Even I hadn't realized what was going on. Hey, Pam, oh, she's walking away, never mind. So thanks for that. So, did you realize how much we had done until we started going over it last night?
Oh yeah, no, we did a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Damn, dog, I'm happy about it.
Yeah,
so,
fabulous.
I'm so excited about what we're doing next session. I've got some cool things planned, and we're just gonna make it work, y'all. Here we go. So let me go ahead. The return of the jackets at last. Yes, Hector, I'm returning the jackets. You guys wanted me to pack one, and I kind of hate you for it, because it means I'm gonna have to like check something, but that's fine. By the way, get in here. So we are starting today, and what I wanted to do, we're gonna have Joy is joining us. Joy comes from, I can never say her last name. Joy Stephanie, help me. How do you say her last name? Where'd she go? Stephanie. Well, thanks for that. Hold on, I'll pull up this way. I have it on my phone. Oh, apparently I was recording and my phone talked about burning everything down to the ground. I hate all of you. Go away. Let's see. She's on her way. She says she's running a little late. How late? Hold on, let's find out. Joy Degenhart. Degenhart. Joy Degenhart of Aid for Kids is coming on. They are a nonprofit organization that has been around for 26 years. Joy has been working with the Department of Labor in Vietnam to help families in the United States adopt children from Vietnam. So she's been helping keep that going. Her mother was actually the pioneer behind adoption, helping Americans adopt from places like Vietnam, China, Hong Kong, which was the same, but it was different at the time because it was British, Cambodia, Africa, and they just got all sorts of, they have such an incredible history, and we're looking at doing some work with them in the future. So they're going to be coming on and talking to us about what they're doing, what they're trying to achieve, and it's going to be really exciting. So keep that in mind. I'm really excited to see what we're going to do with them. So kind of cool. Okay, so what I wanted to just start off with today is go through something about mindset, because there are so many times where we are trying to get through our day, and you have to, people often forget that your mindset is it's like a muscle. You have to work it out all the time. So if you work it out properly, you'll be able to actually achieve the things you're trying to achieve. Okay, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and talk about something with our mindset. This is called silencing your inner fears. And this is a presentation I've given a couple of times at some of our live events that I used to teach at. So I'm going to share my screen. And here we go. All right. So how many of you guys have actually gotten nervous as you've been building your business or taking on something new? How many of you guys actually get really self-conscious about it? Yes, Carlos, thank you for being honest about it. He's like, yeah, over here. Anyone else over there who's actually paying attention? Anyone? No? Okay, Autumn, thank you. Pam's like, okay, she's packing. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So this is called silencing your inner fears, which for some reason I cannot get this to minimize so I can watch it. So ultimately we know deeply that the other side of fear is freedom. I love that quote. So I actually did an exercise last night, which I think I'm going to do with you guys as we start this process. So I want everyone just to get comfortable, and I want you to close your eyes for a second. And I want you to think of a time, or think of something that brings you anxiety, something that's been stressing you out, like starting a new chapter, meeting your in-laws, a fight with a loved one, something like that. All right, I want you to look at that, and I want you to recognize when you felt powerless. Okay, so I want you to acknowledge that point. I want you to acknowledge where that fear is. If you acknowledge that when you feel nervous, there has a visceral response, you can actually move through that and into something deeper. So hold that in your mind, and we're going to go through this, and we're going to tackle some of those challenges that you might currently be experiencing or you've experienced in the past, okay? The primary difference between rich people and poor people is how they handle fear. Robert Kiyosaki. We all know him. So you need to get out of your head. It's a terrifying place to be, all right? Your thoughts are often much worse than they are in reality. I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. Hush! Hope you didn't. Did you guys hear that? Hope not, because I muted you. Darn, wrong way. I have no way of controlling it now, guys. I should want. Anyway. So, now, go back. It's a terrifying place to be. Now, this is one of my favorite videos we're going to watch real quick. We're going to talk about this. You're going to learn a lot as we go through this, okay? Can you guys see this still? Yes or no? Yes? All right. Take a look at this. Not this commercial. This commercial is going to go away.
It's not annoying my eyes.
You can or cannot?
No, video, no, sorry.
Okay.
95% of our life is coming from the programs of life, how to live life that we get in the first 7 years of life. That's why poor people stay poor and rich people stay rich. The movie The Matrix is not science fiction. It's a documentary. Every human, and this is a fact, every human first 7 years is download hypnosis. The brain of a child under 7 is in a lower vibrational frequency. You put wires on a person's head, you read electroencephalograph, reading brain activity. A child below 7 has a lower vibration than consciousness. It's called theta. Theta is imagination. Oh, that's how kids play a tea party with mud pies, but to them it's a real thing. A kid rides a broom, it's a horse. That's the nature makes the first 7 years. What kind of programs are required to live on this planet? I say, how do you get them? Theta is hypnosis. You just watch. You watch your parents, you watch your siblings, and your community, because you have to learn how many 100,000 rules. Think about it. Just to be a functional member of a family and a functional member of a community, there are rules. Teach an infant these rules. It's like, they don't have to. First 7 years, they observe it and just download it. Look, this is not new. I mean, there's the famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And basically said you come from a poor family and you could struggle your whole life and try to get rich, but you're not going to make it. And if you come from a rich family, you could be stupid your whole life and make it. Not because it was thinking, but it was unconscious behavior that was downloaded from rich families into kids, which is unconscious. So they're making the right moves unconsciously. If they engage their conscious mind, then they look stupid, but it's unconscious. And that's the same thing with poor people. And the Jesuits, for 400 years, they were boasting. People didn't understand. They said, give me a child until it's 7 and I will show you the man. They've been saying that for 400 years because they knew 7 years was the program period. And 95% of your life after that will be whatever that program is. So you don't have to try and think about what happened. I just said, look at your life. The things you like that come into your life come in because you have a program that supports them. But anything you struggle with, work hard at, put a lot of effort into making it happen while you're working so hard, inevitably, you have a program that doesn't support that conclusion and you're trying to override the program. So you don't need to do a lot of strength and psychology stuff. You just look at your life and say, where am I struggling? Because wherever you're struggling, inevitably it's a program in your subconscious that does not support that destination you've been looking for. The conscious repeating it to make it work.
Wow. I haven't seen this one. Now I want to see it. It's so scary. Okay, so that right there is one of my favorite things that I have come across, because I find that it explains so much, right? And it really gives us some limiting beliefs that we are all programmed with. Now, recently, some of you have heard me talk about the fact that I have put myself through hypnosis. Hello, Brianna. So I've been putting myself through hypnosis to overcome some of my wiring, and it has been absolutely incredible. But it does take a lot of work to let yourself go there. Something I'm finding the most valuable thing I've done through the self-help I've been working on. But I had a lot of limiting beliefs when I was growing up, as I'm sure you did too. Things like, we can't afford that, money doesn't grow on trees, well, when you earn it, work hard, go to school, get a job. You know, have you guys, does any of this sound familiar to you? Yeah? Mm-hmm. The rest of you guys are just pixels on the screen, so I really have no idea. But thank you, Pamela, and thank you, Liz, and your beautiful daughter. Hey, baby. So I know that you guys are feeling that. Now, this is a thing. It doesn't have to be true. I loved what he said about sometimes there are a lot of rich idiots out there, aren't they? Like, have you noticed that? It seems like the more wealthy they are, sometimes people can be even more dumb, right? But it's really not the case. They were just raised in a mindset that allowed them to experiment, fail, and fail up constantly. So it makes me think, okay, well, what else can we do? Well, let's take what we just learned and we're gonna go a little bit further with it because it does help, all right? So here we go, we're sharing the screen. That's not what I wanted. Where'd you go? Oh, come on, you computer. Huh? Share, boom. Okay, Now, the lizard brain, here we are. The reptilian brain is the oldest part of our body's brain. It controls everything that requires us to breathe, our heartbeat, our balance, things like that. It's incredibly rigid. It does not like change. It knows black and white. This is danger, I run from it. This is safe, I can stay. It's your flight or fight responses, okay? So some emotions that are held in this brain are your criticisms, judgment, rumination, and doubt. So every time that you have a conversation with somebody, it doesn't go your way, and you keep replaying that same conversation in your head over and over and over again. I should have said this. Oh, I would have said that. Or what if I had done this instead? That right there, that's in your lizard brain. That's in your primitive brain, okay? It's evolved to see fear over opportunity. It does not see the glass is half full. It sees run, that's all. It sees I'm frightened of the glass. Okay, that's your lizard brain. You do not want to be there because it focuses on blinding fear. Now the thing about fear is it's really just internal. It has nothing to do externally. Most of your fear is how you perceive the outside world internally, all right? And then it continues to escalate. So fear is something that we all need to understand in a different way. You can become fearless. It's all part of the same word, you have to control it, right? So it's amazing what you can see because it will lie to you. It doesn't always show you the truth. Sometimes other things are embedded in it. You have to look beyond. So you have to retrain your thoughts to rewire your brain, okay? What we're talking about here were your theta brainwaves. For those of you who have heard me talk about this several times, when you meditate, you actually increase your theta brain, you go into a theta state. And that's how you're able to get into deeper sense and actually retrain your programming. Our gateway to learning and intuition comes through our theta, all right? Come on. It's most active right before you go to sleep or just when you wake up, which is when I love to meditate because it's easiest to flip into it. It's very active in young children, as you saw in the video, and it increases when we are silent, okay? Our thoughts go through things just like mindful breathing, hypnosis, and meditation. You see, there's so many ways for you to get in touch with yourself. Now that's really how I look at meditation. It's not necessarily something spiritual. It's just me getting in touch with my body rhythms, and quieting myself down so I'm more in touch with my actual creative process and enjoying the life force inside of me. You can do it in so many different ways. Some people, my grandmother does it through needlepoint. That's her form of actually increasing her theta waves and actually relaxing into it. Some people like to run and they get that runner's high. That's also increasing. So there's so many ways that go about doing it, but finding that way on a daily basis to increase your theta waves and the strength of your theta waves is absolutely going to help you get further in what you're trying to accomplish. This is one of my favorite quotes. You are not your thoughts. Rather, you are the awareness to notice your thoughts. All right, let's go ahead and I have an exercise and I can only do it here in my home. So we're going to do this together. I want everyone to unmute themselves, please. This is interactive. Yes, you know me by now. If you're not interactive, well, then why are you here? Okay, so I want someone to give me something that they're frightened of. Go on, tell me. Anyone?
Failure.
Failure?
Yep.
Thank you for being honest. Failure. All right. What else?
Not doing a good job.
Not doing your job, okay? So being subpar. What else?
Disappointing people.
Carlos is on a roll today. He's just like letting everyone know. He's holding himself accountable. I love it.
I'm going to say that was low standards for the second one. What else?
Rejection.
Rejection. What else? That's a good one. All these are good. They're awful, but they're good. Keep going. What else?
That I'm a loser.
Being a loser, which is other people's perceptions, right?
Being taken advantage of.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. What else? Being a chump is what I'm going to call that. Right? Makes sense?
Fear that I won't be able to handle any success.
I don't know.
Oh, being unworthy of success?
Or fear of success.
Yeah.
There you go. That's also
Yeah.
great. Fear of success. Being unworthy. What else? What else? What else? Do we have anything else?
Just silly stuff. The water.
Water?
What?
I don't like oceans. I know.
Yeah, so being hydrophobic, right? Is that the term?
Is that it?
Yeah, mine is spiders. Which, by the way, I have a very interesting story about that.
I like
Okay.
spiders and snakes,
Oh,
but I
oh.
don't like water.
If we're gonna go there, I'm deathly petrified of cockroaches. I mean,
Oh, God, you just said it. That's just disgusting. Ew. Okay. Roaches. And we're not talking about the ones out
You
there.
live in New York? Oh my God.
But what? Which one?
No, I said, and Stephanie lives in New York. That's pretty.
I know they're everywhere.
I'm
What are you
actually.
going there?
It's like,
I mean, I'm terrified of like Florida roaches, like those
Oh.
water ones that like are like 2 inches big and like fly at you. Yeah.
What was that? Say pie? Is
No,
someone
I was
called the
like-
pie?
No, the roaches that fly.
Oh, the flying roaches. Okay, well, we're gonna move on from roaches, people. We're done with roaches. All right, roaches are good. All right.
let it go.
Well, for me, I grew up in a religious house. So what about going to hell? Would that be something we can write down?
What was that one?
Hibai is coming in at the end of the, yeah.
What about what else? Anybody got anything else? How about fear of getting old? Fear of dying,
Dying.
being alone.
Fear of leaving my loved ones with like my responsibilities or like lack of my preparation of my responsibilities.
Unpreparedness. I'm just gonna put unprep. I like that. For me, also dancers. We got at least 3 dancers in here. What about becoming fat and irrelevant?
Oh,
Yep.
God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Carlos, when you were saying everything, let me tell you, I shared those.
You did?
Totally get that. Yes, I've done a lot of work. It's totally possible to move on from that. But becoming fat is an issue for those. And I don't know if I'll ever get over it, but I'm working on it. That's actually what I was doing hypnosis for, was my body dysmorphia. So what other fears do we have? Come on, let's fill this thing up.
Did everyone mention death or fear of talking in public?
Oh, public speaking. You know, public speaking is the #1 fear
Public
that everyone
speaking.
has.
Yeah.
Above
People,
death, yeah.
given the choice between dying and speaking in public, people choose dying. Do you realize that? I'm like, then we have actors in this room. We're okay. Public speaking.
Jacob, Joy is waiting to be let in.
Well, all right. Bo, can you let her in?
Oh, fear of heights.
Fear of heights. Go back. That's a good one. I can't let you in, honey. I don't know. Everything. Go on. Well, hold on. Let me let her in. And I'm on a roll now, so I'm not stopping.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is exciting now.
This is my favorite presentations. I enjoy this one very much. Hold on 1 second. Let me close this. Cancel. I just need a good. Will you escape? Come on. Thank you. Post. Here we are.
I mean, everything is exciting. Don't misunderstand.
No, we're on a roll right now. I totally get what you're saying. Let me get. Where is my Zoom? Ooh, there's so many windows open. I can't do this right now. Come on, girl. I think I've got to stop sharing my screen. Goodbye. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Nope. Stop share. So there we go.
Oh.
All right, there we are. Now we're going back to sharing our screen. Okay, now, so here we are. So we have public speaking. What else do we have? So we got so many things. We got fear of failure, of being a disappointment, of having low standards, not meeting standards, of death, of going to hell, of getting old, of fear of success, fear of spiders, of flying insects. Just leave that alone and that's enough, right? We got snakes, we got fear of water, fat, heights. I'm gonna put that down, heights. This is why God made me short. All right, that's why I don't like heights. What you guys don't know is I'm actually 4'11". I look really tall in camera. I'm kidding. What else do we have?
I'm actually 5 feet. I'm 5 feet tall. What's up, everybody? I'm Caitlin. How's it going? I hope you guys are all having a great day. I'm scared of death, so mine's already up there.
Perfect.
I'm
What
also
else,
scared of losing my subconscious thought process, you know?
All right, so we have death here. We got getting old, subconscious. Right, we're ready. Okay, we're good. We're filling this up. What else? Give me something else. Joy, give me something you're scared of.
Rats?
Oh God, you don't live in New York, do you?
No.
Okay, good. So we got a lot of like unsanitary fears here, people.
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh God, rats. Ugh. What else do we have? Fear of, we already have rejection. That was a really good one.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared of losing my hair.
Yes, balding. That's a good one.
Oh, shoot.
Right, balding. Balding.
Okay, these are all phenotype related. I take it back.
Okay, so I think you get the point. You see this right here? These are all the fears we have. Now notice what I have here. Do you guys see this right here?
I can't
Right?
see it.
You are not your thoughts, rather you are the awareness to notice your thoughts. Yes? You can see the screen or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Guys, this is what this means. All of these are your thoughts. What each and every one of us are, we're the whiteboard. So if I'm the whiteboard, look
I'm
what
the brown board.
You guys can't.
Okay.
So we'll come back to that in a second. So I want you guys to see, because I want you guys to really see what we're doing. If I start breathing and I increase my theta waves, and I understand that these are just thoughts in my head, I'm now giving myself a clear head. Literally. See that? We're getting rid of roaches. Those are gone. That's coming up. Our fear of being fat, of snakes, of being unworthy, of whatever that was. I've already mostly rid of being unprepared, of being a failure. Now suddenly, because I'm able to breathe, I have a blank slate. So now, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more. What are some of the things that you are embarrassed to want that you do deserve?
Money.
Give me other forms of money.
Security for your family.
Security.
Education.
What was that?
Education.
Education.
Happiness.
What was that?
Happiness.
Oh, I love that. Yes, happiness. You guys deserve happiness. What else?
Love.
Love. That's right. Love. I was going to say that, Stephanie. Good job.
We don't put that
Great
on.
minds think alike, right?
What else?
Where is Liz? She and I know what's up, right?
What about acknowledgement or recognition?
Yes, I was gonna say that recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Recognition. What else?
Success.
That's, I was hoping someone would say that. Thank you, James. He plays it on.
Anytime, Jacob.
Glad to see you, man. Well, I see your picture. Success.
Yes.
What else?
Confidence.
Ah, love it.
My freaking favorite. Let's go. Actually, second. I would say energy is the first.
Energy. And what was the other one?
Confidence.
Confidence, energy. What about partnerships? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make that just rings.
Collaborations.
What about community?
Community.
Something that all of you want, but you're scared to say.
Acceptance.
Yeah.
Legacy. Legacy.
Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, true.
Acceptance. What else? You guys don't know, what else do you want? We're all thinking so metaphysically, right?
I want a really nice suit, you know? I just want a really nice suit. I'm just in a regular t-shirt and some running shorts.
Girl, how about some red bottoms?
No.
Oh no, for me.
I might have a pair of knockoffs or just a pair of heels that took red nail polish and put paint on the bottom. That was my way of doing it, yeah. I put fine clothing, which I like. So guys, are these thoughts that you would rather spend your time with? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's this very easy way of doing this. And Joy, I'm just going on because I started this as a way of not stalling, but just keeping this going. Like, and so we're just going to go down. When we're done with this, we'll keep talking. But I definitely want to give you all the time we can. So I just want to make sure I'm getting this done because now we're on a roll. So please participate, everybody. There's a very simple exercise we can do when you are trying to think about, is what I'm thinking serving me? And it was from a woman I'm about to bring up to you guys. Her name is Mel Robbins. She
love her.
I know, right, Caitlin? I love you. So she
5-second rule. Read the book.
Exactly. She's got a whole series on YouTube or on Audible, which I adore. But she says that her friend has a statement that says, "Is what I'm doing serving me?" And she says, "She is a simple test. Am I thinking about something in the past, or am I focusing on something in the future?" It's so simple, isn't it? So simple. But every time I find myself getting really hard on myself or fear of failure or going back over those conversations I had before, that's usually my problem, is I think about all my previous mistakes and I recognize I'm thinking in the past. That's what's keeping me back. I can't move forward if I'm looking in behind me, right? I can't see what's coming up if I'm always looking in the rearview mirror. So that little mind check reminds me, okay, I can let that go. It's okay to let that go. I'm not living in my past anymore. I'm growing my roots down and I'm also growing up. I have to be present where I am. And that's why we're changing, right? So I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about Mel Robbins here in a second because she is one of my favorite human beings. Caitlin, you're going to love this. So this is what that thought means to me. You are not your thoughts, rather you're the awareness to notice your thoughts. When I started meditating, people would tell me all the time, your thoughts are like clouds, let them float by. I hate you people. Like those people who talk about meditation in those forms, I want to smack them with a crowbar. No, that is not relatable. I don't see clouds in my brain. I already have a hard enough time seeing fog in my brain. I want that gone. No, it's now I'm like, oh, I get it. I'm a chalkboard. I can erase it. Does that make sense? So hopefully you guys will start thinking about that because you gotta start going to your mental gym, okay?
Journal.
Now, I love journaling.
Same.
Now, the next part we're gonna do, common fears that people talk about. Now keep in mind, I was doing this presentation for a seminar company. Now, this is my suggestion. Am I gonna make my money back? Am I gonna get all this time and effort I put into building my business back, so on and so forth? Am I going to be successful? My response to you is a tree cannot go back into being a seed. It grows until it can touch the sun. It never stops, all right? How do I know what to do? Well, you have to understand the difference between transactional knowledge and dynamic action. So one is education and one is experience. Life is your best educator. If you continue to work and you continue to grow and you continue to experience life, you're going to learn lessons that you're not going to get in a traditional university setting. So you want to experience knowledge, okay? Now, this is stuff I took from Mel Robbins. I adore her. She wrote a really great book. It's for free on Audible. It's called Take Control of Your Life, How to Silence Fear and Win the Mental Game by Mel Robbins. I love her. Follow her on everything. Okay? Before you even know what or why you're afraid of something, your body will react in some way. So we're all I want you guys to shout out when I ask these questions, okay? Like, where do you feel anxiety in your body? When you start.
My cervical spine.
Your cervical spine, wow, that's right here. Okay.
Stomach.
Your stomach, okay. Where else?
Heart.
Your heart, okay, you get palpitations, okay. What else?
Headache.
Headache. Ooh, that's
temporal lobes.
My extremities, my fingers and toes.
Okay, where else? That's it. Okay.
Shoulders.
Shoulders, you keep your tension up here, okay.
My hands.
Your hands? Mine get sweaty. My throat clenches up. I almost can't
feel it in my jaw.
True.
There you go. In your jaw. So you start clenching your jaw, right?
Sternocleidomastoid.
So what these are, your body will acknowledge fear before you do. Before your brain knows it's scared, your lizard brain will take in the circumstances and it will make a reaction, fight or flight. Either way, it's getting you ready to jump, right? It's getting you ready to pounce onto something, attack it, or to run away. So you will feel it in your body first. And what Mel says to do is once you're aware that fear is manifesting in your body, you can now take control of it. You can say, okay, thank you, central nervous system. I feel you right now. I'm going to acknowledge your presence, but I don't need you. I am safe, and I'm making the conscious decision to be safe right now. And then you're going to see that fear kind of subside. And the more you get used to controlling it, the better it will be. What I do on those times, I really just focus on breathing in, and I exhale slower than I inhaled. And I do that until I feel myself relax. So that's how I take control, and I open my throat and I make myself speak so that I am consciously moving past my fear. So the difference between transactional and dynamic education. Now, education gives you skills to plan a roadmap. I'm going to get from A to Z. That's all education's doing, right? Transactional is the experience. It's what makes you enjoy the ride, right? So that's your dynamic learning. I'm doing this, I'm actually figuring it out. Now I'm going to experience this. It's a lot more fleshed out. Now it's something that I can impart. You see, education is what other people teach you, right? That's transactional education. Dynamic education is how I live and what I experience with that knowledge that people have imparted into me. Do I agree with it? Do I agree with some of it? Do I disagree with it completely? It changes, right? So that's how you get to take control of this. It's okay to disagree with what you've learned before. And it's okay to change your mind. You just have to know that it's up to you to do it. Now, first, recognize the difference between transactional and dynamic. That's very important. Education can only take you so far. You have to do the rest of the work. You're never going to know everything, but you already know more than you need. If you know the basics, you can take action. And that's what we do in our community. You will never know what you don't know until you test what you already do. In other words, I did not know anything about starting a nonprofit until I started doing one. But I didn't realize how much I knew about real estate until I started doing a nonprofit. Does that make sense? I didn't realize all that I had already taken in, all the knowledge I had absorbed over my studies, over my education, over my business life, until I challenged my business in a new way, until I challenged myself in a new way. That's the cool part. You see, as a dancer, Carlos and Autumn will agree to this. As a dancer, we have syllabus, we have steps. It's like our bar in ballroom. We have bronze, silver, and gold. And we're constantly pushing our students to do the next level higher because it pushes them. And then as they get into it, they start having some experience underneath their belt, they'll start recognizing steps from other dances, and they'll start dancing better. And then they'll start responding in ways that they didn't realize that they knew. Oh, that's a crossbody lead. Oh, yeah, well, over here when I do the underarm turn, hey, wait a minute, I knew the right words. It's the same thing for all of you. Whatever your industry is, you'll never know everything that you do know until you test it, okay? Now, as far as investing and building a business is concerned, it's dynamic, okay? Investing is dynamic because of the external forces around us, like the markets, like other people that we're investing where they're getting to know, like in real estate, the properties, the land, that market. And you're always changing, okay? That's what makes it interesting and fun. Nothing that we do as a person is a set it and forget it recipe. There's no such thing as set it and forget it. Why? Because every day the weather's different.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
No, I'm in class.
Now, Different things you can use, that's not gonna be. Now, what are some of your resources that you can use, all right? Well, hire a coach, right? Join like-minded groups on social media, just like this, guys. Network in your own community with people that want to support you and do things with you. You have power team members, which you all, again, they're here on this call. You have different resources as the real estate community, and you have accountability partners. That's one of the things we've done in Real Estate Survivors. We've hold each other accountable in some of our challenges to make sure we're making our phone calls and building our systems. And you need to talk to someone. When you're stuck, ask for help. That's going to make the biggest difference for you. Common obstacles. I'm going to let you, class, can you read this next part out loud for me? What's my definition of perfectionism? Go ahead, out loud.
Perfection.
A politically correct term for procrastination.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Hashtag Jacob Jennings. Got it?
Okay.
I'm a perfectionist. Well, you're a procrastinator. That's what you are. Let's be real. And you know it's true, doesn't it? Does that ring true for anybody?
I just want it perfect. No, you just procrastinate.
Yeah, but you're setting yourself up for failure when you're trying to be perfect. We're human. By design, we are imperfect. We fart, for crying out loud. That is not a perfect design, all right? We get sick. We are not perfect. How can we possibly expect to get anything that's, how are we going to create anything perfectly? We can't, right? So being perfect is setting yourself up for failure. It just is by design. Real estate, which is the asset class that I invest in, is also imperfect. Houses break down. My washer and dryer are breaking down right now. Good, again. You know, so I had to have an imperfect solution. That's more in line with what I'm trying to create, right? If my asset is imperfect, I don't have to have a perfect solution or a perfect business. I have to have one that is effective and has successful results because I can adapt. You have to be adaptable, not perfect. Now, this is my favorite slides. Your internal reality versus external reality. Your fears only live in your head alone. They don't actually walk around outside of us unless you've been stalked or hurt. In that case, different story, right? But the fears that grow in our head are always growing in our head. So we have to, what happened there? So we have to take action, because action will silence your fear. When I get nervous and I feel like I'm not doing something, I have to get up and do something. For me, it's dance or go for a walk. You need to go for a drive. If you feel stuck in your business, go drive for dollars. Get out of your head and do something. Internal fears can be conquered by action. Your actions are guided by external forces. Carlos, when you started Real Estate Survivor, you were terrified of making cold calls, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
You didn't do them for how long?
Yeah, for a little bit, yeah. But then once I started, it was great, you know? I mean, I like it. I like doing it. I like talking to people.
Out of anyone else in the challenge, you're actually winning that. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, you've won.
No way.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You took action. You see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Was it nearly as stressful as you thought it would be?
No.
Was it built up in your head for no reason whatsoever?
Definitely, yeah.
So now that you've conquered it, how much better do you feel?
I feel good. I feel better. I feel like it's possible.
Yeah. You pick up the phone and talk to people all day long, right? We do this all the time. Mm-hmm. So why is it any harder? Why do we make stuff? Why do we make this stuff so hard? Mm-hmm. Why do we make this stuff so hard?
Autumn is literally on the phone.
So that's what we're going to do. So now the next thing you can do is create a list of your personal needs. And I'm going to show you what I mean by this. What you want to do to create a sense of accomplishment, we'll say, that you're actually getting something done, is you want to say, okay, it's so big. When you start investing, when you start actually trying to make a change in your life, you have to understand that it's so big and you have an entire lifetime to master it. Don't try to get a home run on your first time at bat if you've never held a baseball bat before. Oh, look, I made a sports analogy, right? So like, give yourself a break. So everyone, I want you to do this with me. Create a list of your personal needs. What are some of your, don't get metaphysical. Do not get stuck in your head. Don't get so ridiculous right now. What are your physical needs your personal needs that you need in your life? What's that? Can you read it? Anyone?
Food.
Food. Food, everything. Is that a need in your life?
Water.
Shelter.
Shelter. What else?
Attention.
Connection, is that what you said?
Oh, I said attention.
Attention. What else?
Exercise.
Exercise. What else? I never spell exercise correctly. I always miss the C and the S. I never know. Now, what about some of your family needs? They need these things as well, correct? What about money?
Yes.
What about college tuition for those of you who are parents?
Yes.
Yeah. What about
Yes.
retirement account?
What was that?
What about retirement?
Definitely.
See where we're going with this? Now, you need to pay attention to external forces around you to capitalize from the macro to the micro views in the market. I'm going to make this much more simple now, okay? This is your list. When I want to actually take action, this still is too nebulous for me, okay? So what I'm going to do, how much money, let's make it this way. Kathy, how you doing, honey?
Great.
Kathy, honey, how much money do you spend a month in food?
Oh, probably $100 maybe.
What? A month? A month?
A month?
Give us your budget. Give us your budget, please. Jesus, where are you shopping?
I work at a farm that has a vegetable garden.
Okay, now that makes sense.
Wow.
I love you for that because now I believe you. That makes total sense. Okay, we're going to come back to you then, Kathy. I need someone who's going to cause a little bit of pain. All right, Autumn, how much do you spend a month on food? Autumn.
Oh, in Hawaii? Ooh.
Ask that question again.
How much money do you spend a month in food?
A month?
A
and
month.
I got kids here?
Sounds about right. 500.
500?
A month? No, it's 300 a week.
Yeah.
Girl,
Yeah.
are you eating steaks
Yeah.
and crab legs all the time year
No.
round? Jesus.
She's in Hawaii, so in
No.
Hawaii they have to bring everything in, and everything is higher because of that.
No.
And she has kids.
Yeah. That's close. I agree with her. I agree with her definitely.
I know that I spend $600 every 2 weeks.
I have 4 kids.
I just spend $600. I know. And there are 6 of us here. I'm with you.
And we have to ration. I'm like, 1 bowl of cereal.
That's all you get. Stop eating at 12 o'clock at night. You don't need any more meatballs. And why is it always at 3 o'clock in the morning I come down here? I make sure the kitchen is clean when I go to bed. And when I wake up in the morning, there are new pans and bowls always in there. And they can never get enough cereal. It is so bad for you. Stop eating. I digress. Let's talk about rent. Autumn, what do you pay in rent?
What are we doing? My mortgage is about $3,000.
Okay. My rent here
Guys,
is
please do not judge my budget. It is going to be
no,
insane.
no. There's no judging here. You're in
Okay.
Hawaii. We get it. So now I'm going to make this a little different. So why don't we talk about how much you spend on a cell phone? Carlos, what's your cell phone plan budget?
200.
That's all? Really?
Yeah, I put it under my business, so there's like some incentives.
So we'll say $200 a month for cell phone. What about credit cards?
Well, that's only my cell phone. That's not my landline.
You have a landline? Okay, whatever. What
Yeah,
about
but
credit cards?
for
How much
internet.
credit cards a month?
What's that?
Internet. How much do you pay on internet?
Probably another 170.
Okay, what about credit cards?
Yeah.
How much do you pay on credit every month? Credit debt.
Probably like, I don't know, 500.
500 or 5,000?
500.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was what, internet? What else do we spend every month?
For those who have cars, you're paying gas and insurance. Thank God I live in New York City and I get to take a subway and not have to spend that money.
Yeah.
How much do you guys spend on transportation? We'll say that.
Well, my car payment is $400.
I'm gonna say $650 between gas, car payment, insurance, all that stuff, right? Okay. Are there any other big expenses that we're not getting on here? Daycare.
Utilities.
Yeah, utilities. What do you have for utilities?
500.
Okay, that's 500. What else?
That includes natural gas and electricity together.
Cool.
And water.
Health insurance, if you pay anything towards health insurance.
How much do you pay for health insurance?
I don't know, my 198, $200
Okay.
a month.
Wow.
That's low. Good. What about the family of 5? What do you guys pay a month?
Well, we're military.
Yeah, close to 1,000.
Right? That's what I was thinking. Mine's a little high there. So I'm going to actually say 500 for right now. That's closer to what I have to pay. Then you have, so what else do we have that you have to pay every month that you hate getting in the mail?
Oh, I pay for my braces. They're like $300 a month.
Wonderful. So let's put another 500 including braces out. Let's say that's for miscellaneous expenses, things that come up, right? That's not including other insurances or stuff like that, but this is a rough budget. Now everybody get your calculator out. All right. How much do we have on the board? We have 1,200, 3,000, 200, 500, 170, 650, 500, 500, 500. What's our total?
7220.
7220. Every month in this budget, we are averaging as a group $7,220 of our monthly bills that we have to maintain for our lifestyle. Does that sound about right to you guys? Mm-hmm. Now, this is the number that stresses most of us out every month, right? Mm-hmm. When you think of it, do you get a lump in your throat?
Mm-hmm.
Your hands are sweating? Are your shoulders rising? Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, everybody take a deep breath. Exhale slowly. And for some of you, do it again. Feel better? Don't you lie, girl? You're in Hawaii. You got the good stuff. Now, this is what I'm trying to point out here. This right here is just a number. But what's stressing you guys out is the value you're putting behind the number. Do you understand the difference? Yeah, those are your thoughts. That's what we're trying to learn to control. Okay? Let's go ahead and start taking action. $7,200. All right. Carlos, take 7220 for me. I want you to divide that by $400. What do you get there?
1805.
1805. Well, since we can't do it in half, we're going to say 19. In order to replace this income every month, I'm going to look at this differently. Which number is lower? 7,220 or 19?
19.
Mm-hmm. Which one causes you guys less anxiety? 7220 or 19?
19.
19.
Ah, you know what I have here? 19 mobile homes that bring in $450 in cash flow every month. So now I have my business in my head, whatever asset class you're working on, okay? If I had 19 mobile homes bringing in $450 a month, that means I would have my passive income. My income every month is now covered. My lifestyle is sustained and I'm out of the rat race. So now I can take action. Instead of going, how am I going to come up with this money every month? I'm going to think, oh, how can I find another asset that's going to bring me cash flow? See the difference? This could be in so many different ways. This could be the rent in about 19 unit apartment complex. Actually, it'd be about an 8 unit apartment complex, frankly. If each rent is $950 a month, right? Or 900 bucks a month. This was $450. Cut that in half. That's great. So now I'm looking for an 8 unit apartment complex. Or whatever else I'm going to come up with, right? Like whatever your passive income's got to be. It could be lending money, making this much on interest, whatever your strategy is. But once you have something tangible, do you guys feel a little bit more confident right now, knowing that you have a plan? If I got 19 properties bringing in $450 a month on my passive income, I know I'm going to get out of the rat race. Just having a plan like that make you guys feel more confident? Yes or no?
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone.
Okay, let's do it. Let's work it out.
Yes.
Let's talk. Let's work it out.
Thank you, Carlos. He's paying attention today. He's getting excited. I love it. Usually he's sitting over there I see him like listening on the screen. Now he's very engaged. I love it. Guess what, guys? This is all it takes is finding that action. Now I know I've got to find 19 properties for $450 a month. Carlos, if you did one deal, a wholesale deal every month that made you $8,000 in profit, do you think you'd be okay?
Yes. Yes.
There you go. But you got to do it every month, right? So that's the other way. You do a wholesale transaction, trying to get 10 grand in an assignment fee. Awesome. That's all you got to do. You got to build the systems now to overcome your fear. You can't just sit there. Bo, how many properties mobile homes do you guys get under contract a week?
It varies. It could be 5-6 a day. Like it could be 5-6 a week. It really just depends.
Okay, hold on. So he might have said 5-6 a day. Let's hold up. Let's go back to 5-6 a week so you guys can feel a little more conservative. Because Bo, did I pay you to say that, or did I just help you build the system?
No, that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm. So if you're getting 5 to 6 a week, there are 4 weeks in a month. Say you just do 5. Does that make 20 mobile homes in a month? That if I purchased and cash flowed $450 in 1 month, does that mean I'm going to start making this passively? Oh my. But it's okay, Autumn. Let's make it hard. Tell your husband we're going to make it hard instead. Got it? Yeah. You can play this recording for him. Actually, you need to play this for him. He needs to see this. And I'm going to tell him, bitch, man up and come on. You're either with us or you're get out of the way. One of the two. He's going to come on. He's going to love it. He's going to absolutely love this. This is the point. So why am I paying? So when I say pay attention to external forces around you, do you realize that the fastest growing asset class in America is manufactured housing? So this is how you get focused, guys. You replace your expenses by creating that income. That's what we just did here. That's how we replace our expenses, our income, and then we secure your basement. In other words, when you know you've got to pay I just erased, I shouldn't erase it. When your mortgage is $3,000 a month, replace that with a bill, with your passive investments. Then move on to the next one, replace your insurance. Then move on to the next one, you replace your cell phone, and so on and so forth. You keep chiseling away at those monthly expenses, and eventually they're gone. They're still there, but they're taken care of, I should say. Now, the thing is, and you're going to learn this is more of a mathematical equation, which we're going to get to in our challenge in November when we do our debt eradication challenge. We want to secure your basement. In other words, I will not leverage my lifestyle. If I want to increase my lifestyle, I increase my assets. But if I know I've got to come up with $7,220 every month of passive income, I'm going to keep those 19 mobile homes cash flowing at $450, and I'm not going to risk that. I'm not going to gamble it. I'm going to keep that 8-unit apartment complex, and I'm going to make sure it's maintained because it's keeping me alive. It's maintaining my current lifestyle. Then, if I want to go and buy another pair of Louboutins, I buy something else that will pay for them. Makes sense? You want to secure your basement. Then you move into higher risk, higher return strategies. All right, those are things like syndications and land development, so on and so forth. Cryptocurrency, things that are speculative. All right, we're almost done here, guys. You want to create successful habits. As you saw in the video, the majority of our day is lived on autopilot through our habits. What habits do you have right now that aren't serving you, and which would you like to change? You know those things, right?
Drinking 4 cups of coffee a day.
Girl, how do you pee? That's crazy. At that point, it's just tar. Yeah, that's one of them though, right? For me, sometimes I don't eat consistently. We've discovered that already, right? So that's the big one for me. Some people have, in my house, we have these conversations all the time. Some of them are drug and sex addictions. Some of them are giving our friends or family members too much of our time. Giving them too much of our energy because they are vampire suckers, right? Instead of taking care of ourselves. But if you don't put your own life mask on first, you can't help anybody else. You have to retrain your habits by creating a different result, all right? So if you want something different, do something different. Be aware. Ask yourself, why am I doing this right now? Why am I hitting this snooze button? Why am I having that 4th cup of coffee? Do I just need to get some fresh air to get my energy up? I'm gonna go for a walk. So be aware and do something different. Your trigger creates actions, creates a result. So this book is fantastic. The Power of Habit, Why We Do What We Do by Charles Duhigg. All right, they also have it on Audible and on Blinkist. Your morning routine is incredibly powerful. There's no reason to recreate the wheel, read about brilliant minds and what they have done and copy it, all right? This book, Mastery by Robert Greene, is one of my favorites, okay? I absolutely recommend that one to everyone. Stay focused. What is the one thing that you can do today that by doing so would help you achieve your one thing? Just do one thing every day and you will get further ahead. The One Thing is written by Gary Keller of Keller Williams, and it's actually how he built his company. You might have heard of it.
Keller Williams?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
What is the one thing that I could do today that if by doing it, it will make everything else either unnecessary or not as important?
I'll go back. Well, I now got to hit all the PowerPoints again.
Wait, that's fine, because I was going to take a picture of that real quick.
I can email this to you guys.
Oh, yeah,
what is the one thing that by doing so would help you achieve your one thing? What is one thing you do today that by doing so would help you achieve your one thing? Okay. If you don't know what you stand for, you will fall for anything. This is where my nonprofit work, and this is where I wanted Joy to talk about. When you know that you've got a goal, you'll get somewhere, right? I know my purpose is to change the conversation around youth homelessness. That's what I want to do. And now that I know that, I'm taking every step I can every day to ensure I'm working towards that goal. This is all takes action, guys. You got to do something. You can't think about becoming a better dancer. You just have to dance to become a better dancer. If you want to become if you want to be a better investor, you got to invest to become a better investor. You have to start doing something physical to connect your body to the physical world is what's going to make the difference for you guys. We live in the real world. We think in our own worlds, but all the results you want are in the real world. So connect to the real world. Awareness helps us create space from our thoughts and gain perspective. That space is where our greatness lies. When you meditate, it's that space between your inhale and your exhale. And again, it's that space. So that awareness is what makes us take action and feel comfortable, or feel comfortable being uncomfortable. Stop trying to achieve balance. Great lives are led outside on the edges of our comfort zone. All this work-life balance bullshit is all for broke people who don't make a difference in the world. Name one person that has made anything in history who had a work-life balance, who you were happy to know. No one says, oh my God, I love going to know Autumn. She's got such a great work-life balance. Who gives a damn? No, the woman kicks ass. She goes out there, busts her balls, and makes splashes in the world. You don't live life balanced. You live life to the extreme. Stop this nonsense of getting a work-life balance and live one life where you work and you play at the same time, and then you'll start feeling like you're balanced because you will enjoy your moments that you are breathing and you're awake. I'm done. Now, the last part we're going to do here, amen, girl. Now, you will need to recall your inner power. It's there. What I mean by that is when I get nervous, I think of a Buddhist philosophy I read long ago in a David Brown book, Dan Brown book. It says, remember the answer. When you're stressed, you don't know how to do something. Instead of thinking, how am I going to do this? Think, remember the answer. How do I do this? Then your mind starts going into a troubleshooting method as opposed to a frantic method. It starts looking that you already know the answer, so it's just trying to find it again. It's recalling something, different energy. Be kinder to yourself. This is one life. You're allowed to make mistakes. You can fail. Actually, the people whose opinions matter have failed. And they want you to fail because they know you're going to learn from it. And that's how they're going to trust you, because it's relatable. People who judge you for failing and making mistakes, their opinions don't matter because they are losers themselves.
Thomas Edison said that he never failed. He just learned 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb.
There you go. And now look what we have. Too bad Tesla mastered it faster. Now monitor your thoughts. Monitor your thoughts through journaling, hypnosis, and meditation, guys. Really. If Oprah talks about it and Jeff Bezos talks about it and Warren Buffett talks about it and what's his name from Virgin Atlantic?
Richard Branson. Richard Branson, yeah.
If these billionaires are talking about meditation and journaling and hypnosis, then why the hell aren't you doing it? I wonder why you're broke. Gain some perspective by getting space from your thoughts, okay? Remember, this is more than investment training. This is a journey of personal growth and self-discovery. Manage your mind because your thoughts control your life. And that's it, guys. I heard that. I can email everybody who wants it, okay? So there you go. So, I was not expecting to do that today, but there were so many things that happened, unfortunately, all at once. I'm glad we got that. Did you guys learn something from that? Yeah? Mm-hmm. Helpful, slightly motivational, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad because we're going to keep working on that. Remember, every day your mind has to be trained. If you had to feed your stomach, feed your mind.
Yeah.
Right? And feed your mind positive thoughts. Get to know yourself. No one else is going to know you quite like you, and you're worth knowing. I like knowing you, so keep that going. Okay, so that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover with that presentation. I can email it to you guys if you want. If you would like that, send me an
Can
email.
you?
Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the platform. I'm going to make it available to you guys on Investor Party. So head on to Investor Party. It'll be there in resources sometime later this week. I'm flying right now, so I can't do it right now, but we will do that later. Okay, so take a look there. That was awesome. Joy, I'm so glad you made it. I'm so sorry that you got caught up. She was actually working on a mobile home. How'd it go? Is it turning out okay?
Yeah, I mean, I purchased it, and what I had done was I split it into duplex.
Oh.
So I rent one as $850 for it's what do you call one bedroom
efficiency?
kitchenette.
Okay.
Yeah, efficiency, and then the other is a one bedroom kitchen living area, and so I rent that for $1,150. So I'm getting almost $2,000 for what?
May I ask how much you bought it for?
$40,000.
So you bought it for 40 grand. Okay.
Yep.
And where is it located?
It's in Sarasota.
All right. Is
Yeah.
it a retirement community?
No, it's actually, there's no age limit. It's a small mobile home park, and I have another one that I got actually for 25, and I'm gonna flip that one.
So right now, guys, she's making $24,000 a year on that mobile home. She's making, and when you just take your return divided by investment, she's making a 60% return on her investment in that mobile home. Now, that's without training on how to buy them. So I'm going to take Joy.
I know nothing.
She wants help on real estate. I'm going to tell, girl, you know how much we spend on our mobile homes? Hey, Bo, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, almost done packing.
That's fine. Tell Joy how much we spend on mobile homes.
It depends upon where it's at and what's the size, but generally we don't spend more than $10,000 on ours because we'll use
acquiring and fixing up and carrying costs.
Really?
So, people think we're crazy, but that's how you do it, and we actually teach you guys how to do it. So it's very cool to see how this all comes together. So if we did the same thing, and this is not, Joy, you did a good thing. You made a good investment. Now we're going to teach you how to make great investments. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we're going to take you from good to great. All right. So if we did that, that $40,000 investment, that would have bought 4 of our homes. Actually, probably 5, but we're going to digress. So if we did that, if you were making $24,000 a year, which you're doing because it's $2,000 on both sides, and you bought it for $10,000, your return investment would be 240%.
Mm.
I got you, honey. You're going to help me with grant writing, and I'm going to help you with some of these investment things because we're ready to go. You're on fire.
Don't get me wrong. Her deal's pretty good because, I mean, she's going to make $24,000 a year from here on out. So, you know, in less than 2 years' time,
literally.
You know? So it's like, boom, girl, that's not a bad deal.
Oh.
Not a bad deal at all.
Who wants that deal?
Yeah, dead seriously. I'll take it.
And we're going to do more with that. So that's,
that's
great.
Split a home too. You know, that's even, I would have never even thought to go that route. But if you've got the market to do it, to justify charging that much per unit in the same unit, props to you.
That was awesome. That was very smart. So then that's the thing. You only become a better investor by investing.
Yeah.
So you did you're making 60%. That's fantastic. We're going to take you up to that 240% next time. I want you to say that thing, paying a quarter of the price. We'll show you how. We'll get you there.
Okay.
So Joy, by the way, guys, as I was saying when she got here, and I can't stay on now longer because I've got to catch a train down to Miami, but Joy started her work in the nonprofit industry 26 years ago. Her parents were the gurus behind adoption here in the United States. They adopted, I believe, tell me if I'm wrong here, Joy, I think it was 17 kids, or was it 12?
9 children.
And you adopted 9, right? You were 9.
I'm one of 9. I'm one of 9. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. They all adopted, no biological children, and I've been in the adoption world from day one. Since 1972, I was adopted from Vietnam.
And she has so many wonderful stories. It's actually interesting. She was adopted in 1972, and then she went back to Vietnam during college and actually went back after college to start working with the Secretary of Labor, creating the programs that she's been working on. Mm-hmm. So Joy is actually going to be helping us in the Sherlock Holmes Foundation. We're actually applying for grants right now, and I haven't had time. Joy, I haven't had time to tell you all things that has been going on.
Yeah, I think you need to run and get to your project where is it, in Colorado, you said?
Yeah, we're going there tonight. Yeah. So Bo's going to be
there, and then we'll spend more time to be able to discuss all that we can do together.
Oh, we've got so much. This is going to be such a wonderful experience. Mm-hmm. Guys, just stay tuned. I'm actually going to see, Joy, if you're available to come on next week. Bo, are you there?
Next week, we're full.
Who do we have?
We've got people from Jessica. So we could definitely do, hang on, I just have the spreadsheet up. I think
The following Monday, I believe, right?
We'll touch base. If it's not next week, it could
Following
be
Monday. It's a week from Monday.
We've got somebody out there already, but we could reschedule. We can move things around. We'll talk at the airport.
Well, I will have you on the next week because we need to get to know you, but I have to have a call with you ahead of time because we're writing a grant, which I've never done.
Oh, yeah.
Dear God. And
Yeah.
so we're going to get that covered. But we want to have you on to talk about Aid for Kids and all the amazing work you've done. Guys, she has been a part of creating 900 families.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with one. So I'm so impressed with all the work that you do and everything you're doing. And it's not easy. I mean, you've got older parents now. Your donor base, I know, is older.
My
You're
dad
taking
just
them-
turned 93 years old. Yeah.
Happy birthday to him, dear God.
Yeah. Yeah.
So can you ask him something for me?
Sure.
This is so inappropriate. This is a joke. Don't actually ask him.
Go
Do you
ahead.
know, like when he sits down on the toilet, do his balls hit the water or they just float on top? At 93, they had like wrap around your thigh and you can tie it around and just like a tourniquet. Anyway, I'm sorry. Joy, I love you. You don't have to actually ask. Well, no. I know that my grandfather has one testicle that has elephantitis. It is gigantic. It looks like a grapefruit. It's not attractive. The other one is very small.
Oh,
And that's how I
okay.
know this. But yes, I have a train to catch. Okay, guys, you're amazing. We love you. Mwah.
Okay.
Come back on Joy. If you can come on Friday, I'll introduce you to Kate, Kate's House Foundation. Frank and Sherry are going to be on talking about how they started this organization.
I took the class with them.
wasn't I?
Yeah, so I know them. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. So you were part of my journey from the beginning. Believe it or not. Huh.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm meant to be. All right, guys, you're wonderful. I will see you on Friday from Colorado. Be
Okay.
blessed, guys. Mwah.
Bye. Yeah.